Om Sri Mahaperiyava Charanam. Voice of God, Volume 1. Main title Advaitam. Chapter 12. Where is Bliss? Ananda. We have countless desires, but it is certain that one day or other the things we desire will leave us or we will leave them. If we ourselves give up these desires before death causes their separation, we can have so much bliss. All our desires are like a tether to which we tie ourselves. As we keep reducing our desires, the causes for our sorrow will also reduce. If we give up all desires before this life ends, we need not have to be born again and suffer. We can get dissolved in Paramatma and become bliss ourselves. We feel proud that, as different from the beast, we are endowed with the faculty of discrimination. But in what way does man act significantly different from them? All animals and even insects eat, multiply their species and die. Generally speaking, it does not appear that man does anything more. If so, what is there to feel proud about his faculty of discrimination? The highest knowledge is to find the way to enduring bliss. Does man get such enduring bliss? If we think deeply, the ultimate truth is that this knowledge, bliss, and we are all one. When we realize who we are, we will know that we ourselves are that knowledge, bliss. We do not get real happiness from external objects. Happiness is born from within ourselves. Even in the state in which we have covered our real state of bliss by our ignorance, it is only when we have a connection with something, treating it as ours, that we feel happy. If that connection goes, with it goes happiness too. I shall give an example. Assume that a person has some land for himself. Assume also that year after year the land gives higher and higher yields. Because of this feeling that this field is mine, he is pleased whenever the yield increases. Then the yield starts decreasing. He sells the land to somebody else. Again, next year, the same field gives still higher yield. When he finds this, does he feel happy? Last year, when I had this land, it was barren. Now the same land is yielding a fortune for somebody else. He thinks in this way and feels jealous about it. So long as the connection mine was there with the land, there was happiness. Later, even when the crop was good, the feeling changed. I will give another example. You must have seen that many parents come to me seeking cure for their children afflicted by mental illness. A father behaved exactly opposite to this. He married a second wife. The second wife could not get on with the stepson. Result, there was a serious quarrel and the family got divided. He continued to live with the second wife. He deserted his son. One day he came to me and said that his son indulged in black magic against his second wife, but fortunately it rebounded on himself. When all parents get worried when their children are mentally affected, this father feels happy about it. Why this? Because he has lost the feeling that the son was my son. With the second wife, his feeling is that this is my wife. That is why he feels happy when she suffers no harm. If the association with that I, which is subject to illusion, that is Maya, induces so much happiness, how much more blissful will that I be, which is not associated with anything and is bliss itself? We find that even the bitter gourd, when cooked with jaggery, tastes a bit sweet. Since the sweet taste is because of the association with jaggery, Is there any doubt that jaggery by itself is only sweet? By the association of that illusory rays of the eye of this bitter and sorrowful world, we get happiness. If that eye is alone and is unassociated, how much more happiness will there be? If a light is covered by a small pot with holes on its body, the rays of light come through these holes. We see a little bit of the ray of happiness from the soul light through the holes, namely the senses. If the part of illusion is broken, we can become bliss ourselves. Although, depending on the size of the holes, the light rays coming through the holes may differ in size, what is inside is only one light. If we break the part of illusion, the multiplicity of the universe, what we observe will disappear and we will perceive only one thing which is of the nature of bliss. The only way to break the illusion, that is Maya, is to control desires. So long as there is mind, there will be desires. Therefore, the mind is to be stilled. It should not be understood that if the mind is stilled, we will become like a lifeless thing without any power, as if on the verge of death. On the contrary, this is the state which is the support of all powers. Normally, for a person who has a handicap in one organ, there will be greater power in another organ. Just as the flow in one canal increases, if the flow in another is blocked, the handicap in one organ gives extra power to another. If all the sense organs which scatter the spiritual force are blocked, all powers will then remain concentrated blissfully in one place. With such great power, we can do good to the world. The power of the rishis who had gained self-knowledge is an example of this. They had gained the power to reach any world at any time and know things. They heard the Veda mantras from the space which we can't and gave them to us. How to control desires, how to still the mind, how to secure enduring happiness. Those who ask such questions shall follow the teaching of the Vedas. That is enough. In the end, they can get the inner bliss. May Lord Parameshwara shower his blessings for this to happen. Om Sri Mahaperiyava Charanam. Jai Jai Shankara. Hara Hara Shankara.